Hey everyone, Mark Meckler here, President of Citizens for Self-Governance, one of the founders of the Convention of States Project. And today we want to talk to you a little bit about some of the myths and questions you hear about the Convention of States Project. They're pretty common. There's a sort of a regular series of them that you'll hear, and we want you to be completely equipped to answer those. You have a lot of resources on the website. I'll refer you back to that. But Ginny and I are just going to run through a few of the most common ones so that you can hear them and you can hear how I would answer them given the opportunity. So I'll turn it over to you, Ginny. You know the questions.
I do. Okay. Mark, tell me, I hear all the time that we're going to go to this convention and the left is going to take it over and it's going to be crazy and it's going to run away. You're going to get out of control and we're going to actually lose liberties, not gain them.
I mean, that's one. Obviously, you and I hear this all the time. It's really interesting, guys. I think you should know the history first, right? So when I'm answering this question, one of the most important things I can do is tell people where this all came from, how this all got started, what the history of it is, and actually what the history of convention is. So it's important to note we've had over 35 conventions in American history. It goes back even, by the way, beyond the 1787 Constitutional Convention. There were 10 conventions in roughly the year and a half, 2 years before the 1787 Convention. All of them appointed delegates or commissioners from the states. They sent them to convention. All of them did what they'll do in this convention. They all carried instructions from their states called commissions. And so we have all that history, 1787, and then beyond that. But like I said, upwards of about 35 conventions, interstate conventions, not necessarily Article 5 conventions. And in those conventions, there's literally no history of any of them running away. There's no history of delegates getting out of control or running away or exceeding their authority. So we have a long history of doing conventions in America, and I want you to think about whoever is appointing the delegates. In this case, it'll be the state legislatures. They appoint people that they trust, right? People that they respect, that are respected in the community. It's kind of foolish to think a legislature is going to appoint a whole bunch of people that they trust explicitly, and then those people are going to explicitly violate the instructions they're given. So it's important that you know that history. And when folks get to convention, they're bound by the applications themselves. Each state passes an application. All the applications are the same. It says you can only talk about the 3 subject matter areas of the Convention of States resolution. You guys should know those 3 subject matter areas by now. And then when they're in convention, there are rules that will govern the convention. The convention itself is going to operate a lot like a state legislature. If you've never been in one, you can watch how a state legislature operates by watching your own state legislature online. Or if you want to see how an actual convention operates, you can watch the simulated convention located on the Convention of States website. That convention that we actually ran in Williamsburg, Virginia for educational purposes about a year and a half ago. You'll see that if anybody says something that's out of line, that doesn't fit within those 3 subject matter areas, any delegate, any commissioner can raise their hand, make what's called a point of order and say that's not germane to what we have authority to talk about. And the person who tried to bring up something that's not germane will be ruled out of order. And so, boom, that's how you stop it. So, and in the end, here's what really matters. There's all kinds of safeguards built in along the way, but in the end, here's what matters. It takes 26 states to pass something out of convention, a majority, and then it takes 38 states to ratify anything. I mean, this is an incredibly high bar, and I like to do the math in reverse. 38 states sounds like a really high bar. This is more important. It takes only 13 states for us to stop anything that we don't like. And so, Ginny, I think this is the most important one to me. I say this to people all the time. People say, we're going to lose our Second Amendment rights. You ever hear that?
Oh, all the time.
Or we're going to lose our First Amendment
Yes.
rights, freedom of religion. The left's going to take over and they're going to do this. So here's the important thing to remember. If you take that 38 number and you put it on its head and say, well, how many states to stop it? It's 13 states to stop anything. Okay. And in reality, it's going to be both houses in the state legislature. So it's one house in each of the 13 most conservative states in America stop anything. And it's kind of funny to me to think about this. I've been in 44 states in the last 2 years, so I've been in all these legislatures, right? And I think about, well, in the 13 most conservative states, states like Louisiana and Mississippi and Georgia and Florida, Carolinas, and maybe Nebraska and Oklahoma and Texas, can you imagine going into those legislatures and suggesting to those men and women that they ought to repeal the Second Amendment?
Right.
Or even vote on it.
Yeah.
And what I joke around, but I say, look, if you go into, say, the Texas legislature and suggest they take up an amendment to repeal the Second Amendment, you just better be packing because it's probably not going to be safe for you.
That's right.
Now, if you guys want to know more about that and any of these objections and questions and answers you're going to hear, you just go to the Convention of States website and you go look at the FAQs, and all the myths about especially the Runaway Convention are there, and you'll become an expert on how to answer those questions.
That's right. Thank you.